Hi, I'm Tom. I'm one half of the Tomfoolery Fun Club. Miss Michelle is on assignment. But my good fortune to be with the four famous horsemen from Boulder Dam University, the iconic group Rocken Horse. Anybody who's followed rock music in the Chicagoland area in the 70s and 80s knows this band, Rocken Horse. To my far left, Mr. Kenny Silvestri. My immediate left, Glenn Reyna. On my right, my far right, Jim Caranda. And also Rick Zilla Stanislavski. Gentlemen, thank you so much for having me in tonight. What a thrill. Got a chance to see you guys rehearse tonight.
Thank you, Tom.
Glenn, let's start with you. Talk a little bit about Rocken Horse. How would you describe your music?
Well, we were first got together in the 70s, late 70s, as young lads. We just admired, all the Chicago rockers, the Ides, just all the Chicago bands, Styx, and people that were just coming up, in the early 70s. And we kind of liked that Chicago hard rock with harmony vocal sound. And that's what we kind of went after, and that's what we like to write and record. And we kept going for about 10 years. And, and then we started living our adult lives, getting involved in work and business and family and everything. And as the years went by, we stayed friends, but we wanted to see each other and play with each other again, and we got together, and it still sounded good, so here we are.
So hard rock music with a four-part harmony. Jim, talk about maybe some of your influences in the music industry. Who do you look toward to influence you?
Well, I think that probably the first thing that even introduced me to music in any way was the Beatles back probably third grade. I remember my aunt called my mom and said, "Hurry up, get Jimmy, put him in front of TV, Ed Sullivan show, the Beatles are going to be on." I don't know. From there, I just kind of developed that interest. Had to have a guitar. Had my folks they made take me to a music store. I wanted to get a left-handed one because I wanted to be Paul McCartney, but they said, "No, you're right-handed." Let's see, further along. Good question. Everything from the whole British invasion, then things started to get a little heavier, and we were influenced a lot by Styx and Uriah Heep, and whole list. But
absolutely.
But basically, we ended up being kind of a heavy vocal. Kind of a hard rock melodic flavor to our music. So I don't know, that's where we are. And like Glenn was saying, after 25 years or something, Glenn called and said, "Hey, you guys feel like playing now?" And I thought,
"Are you guys still alive? How about you rock and roll?"
Why not,
So Kenny, you're one of the original rocksters here with Glenn and Jim. How does it feel to be back and working the songs again?
It feels great. The way we've rewritten a few of them, and Glenn built a beautiful studio. We've had a chance to do some recording and messed around with them a little bit, kind of changed them a little bit, made them a little more commercial, and but yeah, everything's been going really good. I love it.
I think the coolest thing is that we wondered, probably the first thing to go on people when they get a little older is their voice. And we were kind of proud of our harmony. We're always hams on the mic. We just had no problem stepping up to the mic. All four of us, our original drummer Bobby was a singer, and Ricky sings great too.
Now, speaking of Rick, you're sort of a newcomer to the band. How did that come to pass?
Got a phone call from Glenn. I've known Glenn since I was a little kid. Very good, very dear family friend, and been a huge influence on myself and my brother over the years in our own band and everything like that. And I was a huge Rocken Horse fan, way back in the day. So when I got the call from Glenn, he's talking about putting this back together, and if I would like to climb aboard and see what happens. I didn't take me a minute to, a second to say I'm on, and it's just I'm delighted to be along. I always liked these guys. I came in and I knew their catalog. I knew the first album. It was easy for me to come in here, but it's just a joy to play with these guys. It really is. I was a big fan, 30 years ago, and I'm a big fan now just to play with these guys. I'm tickled to death.
Well, I have to admit, I was a big fan back in the late 70s and early 80s, and I was one of those groupies, one of those followers or stalkers that followed you guys around wherever you went. And when we started doing the Tomfoolery Show, a couple of subtle inquiries developed into full-fledged stalking until you finally joined us for a show. And you've been with us a couple of times, which we greatly appreciate.
It's been awesome, man.
Fabulous. Actually, the first time, Glenn, you were sick. And then another show, you fell. You going to be okay for this upcoming show here?
I'm ready to go, baby. I'm ready. These guys will hold me up if worse comes to worse.
Speaking of which, we have just a tremendous lineup coming up here on December 30th. We'll be at the Hoosier Theatre. The Ides of March featuring Jim Peterik will be with us, as will Rocken Horse. And thank you so much for joining us for that particular show. It's going to be a great time.
Great place to go see a show. This theater's beautiful.
Peterik's the man.
Well,
Great sound in there.
before we go, talk a little bit about some of the songs that you do mostly, probably 90% original music. Is that correct, Ken?
Yeah, well, we could do all original music, basically. I think we throw in a few cover tunes just to change it up a little bit, and
Kind of classic covers.
people like to hear them.
Kind of classic covers. The ones that we do. We try not to. A little familiar. Our own twist to some old Allman Brothers and Stevie Wonder.
We liked doing back in the day. Made us happy to play some of this stuff, so it's fun to revisit it.
So the songs you wrote, back in the day, you've updated those a little bit, but you also have some new things coming up, right?
Yeah, there'll be some new stuff coming out, so we're excited to get back into Glenn's studio and start on those.
So what is the plan for Rocken Horse? Where do you want to take it from here, Jim?
Well, like Ken was saying, Glenn kind of built I'm going to say state of the art, because to me it is, studio down in his basement, and we kind of originally wanted to get 4 songs on a CD, and I think it was right before the last Tomfoolery Show, and we really only had time to finish 3, so we made it a 3 CD. So we have a few songs that I think we have kind of in the box that are started but not quite finished. Some new stuff, some old stuff that is may have some subtle changes, but with the same flavor to the general flavor to the song. But
Sure.
So, like everybody asked me, as soon as it stops being fun, we're done. But thus far, for the last 35, 40 years, however long we've known each other, it's been fun, and it's it's been a satisfying relationship, and I love these guys.
Well, you can tell there's certainly you can tell there's certainly a kinship as I watch you rehearse. I mean, it seems like you're all in your own little world, but you all blend very well together, and your voices come together. And Rick, I know you're a latecomer to the band, but you fall right into play here. You certainly have the same.
Glad to be here. I tell you, I just have fun. Wherever this goes, who knows? But I'm just whether we're playing here or the Hoosier Theatre or wherever, I'm just happy to play with these guys. It's just a load of fun.
Love to see that. Now, speaking of our show coming up on the 30th of December with the Ides of March, there is a little bit of history with Rocken Horse and Jim Peterik anyway. Is there not, Glenn?
Well, at least one little interesting piece is that it was almost 38 years ago to the day that we got a chance to be the warm-up act for Jim's band Survivor, way back in the day in a really hot Chicago club called Studio One. And interesting thing is we weren't supposed to be the original warm-up act. There was another band that were friends of ours that didn't want the gig because they had played with them before, and they got booed off the stage. It's like, bring on Survivor. We said, hey, we'll do it. We love doing a warm-up spot. And Jim's people, Survivor's people, really liked us, gave us a warm welcome, and we had a great time talking to Jim in the dressing room, and it's just going to be just a thrill to be able to rock with him again.
Well,
I think we played a number of times with Jim with Survivor after that at Studio One beginnings, the old, kind of in the old rock days of the 80s or 70s and 80s. So we're looking forward to this kind of reunion gig with Jim.
Yeah, absolutely, as we all are. So again, that's December 30th at the Hoosier Theatre, the Ides of March featuring Jim Peterik, songs and stories. So it's a little bit of a laid-back, unplugged. Rocken Horse is going to rock it out a little bit because
We won't be laid back.
that's what you do, right? And also comedian Sharky will be in the house with us as well. So it is a true variety show. Come on out. For ticket information, please go to tomfooleryfunclub.com. That's tomfooleryfunclub.com.
Buy your ticket.
Ken, Glenn, Jim,
extra one.
Rick, thank you so much.
Thanks, Tom.
We'll see you.
Looking forward to it. It's
Okay.
going to be a good time.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Awesome, Tom. Thanks for everything.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Sure.